Well, the next kind of section we want to cover is selling your ideas better. So not everyone can be the boss or run their own business, but they've got to find themselves regularly selling their creative concepts to their team members, their immediate managers, higher ups in their own business, and also external clients. So how do you go about convincing others that your ideas are worth listening to?
Be a problem solver, right? And so there's a lot of people both in entrepreneurship and in the corporate world running around, and they're a solution looking for a problem, right? Like, I've built this, or I've got this, and I'm just trying to find the problem that it's.
But no one needs that, yeah.
100%,
yeah.
That's right. And so if you were to think, if you were starting a restaurant next week, and you were to go, what's the number one thing I would want in this restaurant to ensure that it's a success? Do you want a good menu? Do you want a good chef? Do you want a good person at the door? Do you want good ambience? I would argue the number one thing that will contribute to the success of your restaurant or otherwise is to find a hungry crowd.
Yeah, a place that needs a restaurant.
A place with people that want the food, right?
People who are hungry.
People that are hungry. And so when I find that people that convey their ideas well start with, they have a deep empathy for the person or the people that they're talking to, and they start with the problem that they're about to solve.
Yep, okay. And then when it comes to pitching your business or ideas, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people pitch to you over time, and they've done either a great job or a terrible job. What makes instantly you can see a good pitch and then conversely a terrible pitch?
I think similar to what I just said, like the identification of
what
the problem.
You need.
So I think you guys, I think GQ are involved in Shivers the Venture, which is like the pitch competition with Shivers Regal. Anyway, I was a judge on that last year, this year, whenever it was, and the pitches were incredible. Like I'm still in touch with a lot of the people that pitched even today, and very clear problem identification and articulation, very clear presentation of the solution, very clear as to why I am the person or we are the people to execute this solution.
Do you feel people are better at pitching these days than maybe they used to be, or there are more tools available for them to be able to do that?
That's exactly right. I think that, when I started in business, which would have been, it's going to stretch me, probably 2004, so it's like 13 years ago.
A while back.
Oh, I got old. 2004, there was, you couldn't go anywhere to learn anything about starting a business. Like presenting yourself, pitching, capital, product market fit, marketing, sales, there was nowhere to. Today, there's resources everywhere.
Well, that's the thing, I guess, like the internet has been able to multiply every kind of access to all those tools, and businesses like yourself for the Entourage, 100%. You can do that too.
That's right. The important thing is to moderate it, right? Like curate it. You don't want to just be listening to it, because everybody and anybody does have an opinion given the internet today.
Yep.
And so make sure you're learning from people who've been there, done that experience in the particular field that they're talking about.
So a question from Danielle, what's been the most memorable pitch from someone that you've seen?
They're the bad ones, right? They're the bad ones.
Really?
Yeah. Like, because, so we got a pitch document, it's called an information memorandum, I don't know, six or 7 years ago across my desk in my previous business. And it said, we are a shoe business. Everyone in the world has feet. If we just get 1% of the market, you, Mr. or Mrs. Investor, will be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And it's like, sales and leadership, please listen to this, guys. Sales and leadership is about making the future real. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're in a career, whether you're sitting in an interview saying, this is what I can bring to you, substantiate as to how and why, right?
Yep.
The more you can make the future real, the more you will be able to convey your point, right? We sell shoes and everyone has feet. Doesn't cut it.
No. Close.
Unfortunately.
Close.
Yeah.
Maybe close.
Line ball, yeah.
Question from Richard. How do you bring an idea to the table without seeming to undercut the boss?
Really good question.
I feel people would encounter this a lot, wouldn't they? Their boss might have different opinions or different thoughts on something, and then I've got the solution right here. How do you do it?
I think give them ownership. Right, it can help when, if that's the thing, like if you have a boss, and it would be unfortunate if you do, but I understand that some people might have a boss that needs to own the solutions. Firstly, they're stuck behind, and hopefully you'll surpass them one day.
Yeah, that's their
because
problem.
it should be the other way around,
yeah.
Right? As a manager and a leader, you want your people to take ownership over solutions, particularly when they're developed by them. But let's assume that they're not. Give them ownership. Always present any plan or strategy or project in the context of the business needs as known and determined by your boss. So whatever your boss is KPI'd on, whatever they're measured on, this will help you achieve X, Y, Z, right? And have the conversation in a way that's a bit more enrolling than that.
Okay. And a question from Jack, what are the processes you'd use to remain on point and clear with your messaging whilst also remaining engaging? You know, I think when people are presenting ideas to other people, often they're, especially if it is detailed stuff where you're talking about KPIs and, you know, really getting into the nuts and bolts of stuff, it can get much less
100%.
engaging. What are your, I guess, you know, practical strategies for how you can do that?
Don't have a script. Throw away the fucking script. It doesn't work, right? You want to be prepped. You want to have a structure. So you want to have, and you know, you might have slides and dot points if you need to. You know, I tend to agree with Steve Jobs, who said, people who know what they're talking about don't need slides, right? Because you can, if you genuinely know what you're talking about, you can just talk about it, right? However, in some contexts, it can help you stay in line on message, right? And so have a structure if you'd like to, but it's the magic and the communication that you add to the structure that will flesh it out is what will make it compelling.
So like build your framework, but don't keep too strict with what you have to say, because then you get I'm reading what I'm writing, I'm you know, not focusing on actually talking to people.
And then the person you're talking to says something that's not on the script, and you're like, oh wait, that's not on my script. You weren't supposed to say that. Go back, right? And it doesn't work.